So today we're going to discuss the top 3 ways that you can speed up and improve drawing people. So what is one of the top ways, Garrett?
One of them is comparative measurement. So comparative measurement, for those of you who don't know, is when we are looking at our subject and trying to find a proportion that repeats itself a number of times in the subject, such as thirds or quarters, and then using that as a means of comparison to find widths and heights as a means of managing proportions.
Right, so let's think about 2 big ones that you could use both on a portrait and on a figure. So for example, one would be find the half of your portrait, which is usually around the eyes, or the half of a figure, whether it be standing or seated.
Sometimes thirds might work a bit better. Everybody's built a little bit different, and while quarters are classical standards, sometimes thirds just might work better. So just be open to options and try not to make a round peg fit in a square hole, or however that saying goes.
Yeah. And the other one I would add in would be to check a big width against a height. I think a lot of people run into the problem of just checking heights, but they don't check how their width relates to their height. That's a big problem there.
Yeah, width versus height is really essential, especially for seated poses.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a tendency to compare widths to widths because it's convenient, or heights to heights, typically your figure is going to result in either being really stretched out width-wise or height-wise. So as much as possible, width to height comparisons are always really advisable.
Right. So number 2.
What is number 2, John?
Number 2 is using a mirror. Not only do I use this to look at my dashing self, I also can use it to, what do you think, Garrett?
Check the dashing problems that I have on my paper.
Thank you. So what this does is you can hold it up to your brow, and that inverts the image you're looking at, or you hold it on the inside of your nose, and that just flips it. And what that does is it abstracts what you're looking at, so you get a fresh pair of eyes, so to speak.
When you've been working on something as long as we tend to work on something, your eyes do tend to get fatigued. And even though you might have the willpower to still find problems, your eye is going to check out at some point. So a mirror is a great way of getting around that problem by tricking your eye into thinking that you're looking at a totally new setup, a new set of shapes, a new set of problems. And it helps you to just see what you still have to do, even though you're already pretty fatigued as it is.
Yeah, the nice thing is things just really just jump out as soon as you look in that. So you just get, whoa, that arm is massive.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And this also has a really rich history in art history of artists using mirrors. Like Dürer writes about using mirrors. Sargent used mirrors. A lot of artists today actually will have a mirror behind them when they're working, so they just turn around and can look. Because a mirror also has the advantage of doubling distance. So if it's behind you, if your painting is 10 feet behind you in the mirror it looks like it's 20 feet. So it also kind of gives you the advantage of backing up. You can also use a black mirror, which traditionally is just a piece of glass that's painted black on one side. And that gives you the benefits of squinting down and seeing tonal relationships without the loss of clarity through squinting down. And it reminds you that what you're after is a relationship, and not just like the accuracy of any one given color or tone.
Yeah, so especially once you have more context down on your paper and you look in the mirror and you compare both your drawing and the figure, things will pop out or not, depending on whether you've accurately represented those relationships. Now, for the final, number 1 is
slowing down.
Slowing down and staying simple.
And it's probably both the hardest and easiest thing that you can do to improve your work.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It is definitely one of the hardest things because it feels the least instant gratification wise, because you're not seeing immediate progress.
Right.
But that's where we kind of liken the analogy. It's drawing the bow back before releasing it. Taking your time and slowing down in the early stages is really ultimately just going to speed you up in the later stages.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I always tell my students is that there's something about too many lines just creates visual clutter, and we don't really have the ability as beginners to juggle that many lines. So by simplifying and slowing down, you just have less to deal with. You can solve your bigger proportional issues, which is what you want to do in the early stages, and work in general to specific. Then you slowly add in more, and it just becomes manageable.
And the biggest challenge there is, of course, is discipline, the thing that we all struggle with, especially working indirectly. We're trying to not only work with the concerns that our current stage is asking of us, but we're also trying to think 1, if not 2 or 3 even stages ahead, and making sure that we're setting ourselves up well for a pleasant working day tomorrow. And often that really does mean exercising discipline and making sure that we're not rushing to the punchline.
Right. So the top 3 things that you can do to speed up and improve drawing people are, firstly, comparative measurement, using mirrors, number 2, and number 1,
slow down
and staying simple.
Yes. The deathly hollows of doing well.
Exactly, the deathly hallows. So if you want more information or want to learn a little bit more, you can visit our website, sign up for a class. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And follow us on Facebook and Instagram as well.
And YouTube.
And YouTube.
So those are the top 3, my friends. So take heed and goodbye.
Good night and good luck.